What's up guys, Mo here, and as you guys can see, we've made close to $5 million in the last 12 months, and in the last 7 days, close to $117,000 in sales. So my goal here is to kind of walk you guys through a high level overview of the 5 stages and the 5 steps that you need to take in order to become successful with ecom and really build something that's going to last you for the long run, not just going to make you a couple $1,000s today or tomorrow and help you retire your bloodline, because that's not going to happen. Okay, what I'm not going to go over is building a website live or doing product research live, because I've done a lot of those things already in other videos, so I recommend you go ahead and check these out. Again, this is high level overview of how to walk through or think through building your business at every single stage. So let's dive right into it. First things first, okay, it's ideation and research. This is where you want to take as much time as you need, but also not overthink it, okay? You want to look for the arbitrage opportunity, whether it's on Amazon, TikTok, Exploding Topic, or Google Trends. You want to do a brief competitor analysis. You want to come up with a cool brand idea. Then you want to be able to register yourself for a domain, a trademark, and a legal entity if you have the funds to do so. If not, make sure you get this done as soon as you can, because it is a very important step, okay? It's going to protect you from any type of lawsuits. It's going to give you something to pretty much work with when it comes to getting business credit lines and getting funding opportunities and really positioning yourself with suppliers and manufacturers and partners, because you actually have a business entity and you're not just a 16-year-old kid who doesn't know what they're doing. Okay, so to briefly walk you guys through this process, what does this look like? Amazon or arbitrage, finding an idea and a product, doing competitor analysis, branding ideation, and then domain and trademark legal entity. So in short, this is what's going to look like. You're going to visit Amazon, you're going to visit Kalo Data, right? Or you're going to go and pretty much hunt through Google Trends. And what you want to find is a hot product or a hot market, okay, that is trending. So what does that look like? I'll tell you right now. Category: beauty and personal care, women's underwear, health, nutrition, sports and outdoors. I think you kind of get the point, okay? This is, in the last 30 days, about $500 million in sales, and these markets are growing like this. So your goal is to find a market that's growing like this and be able to sell a product that's going to help the market even grow longer and more, because this is something that people will always look for. What do people always look for? Okay, something that helps them feel good, look good, or be good, as I like to say, / be better. Okay, so this is not just health and beauty supplements or consumables. This comes down to shapewear. This comes down to new mechanisms of supplements. This comes down to even toys, right? Card games, all of these things that help people feel good and look good or be better are the type of things that you want to be selling. And when I mean competitor analysis, I've done this in another video, but essentially what you plan or your plan to do is this. Let's say you want to go ahead and solve a problem that's for fat loss, or for gut health, or for hair loss, okay? What you want to do is you'll go to, let's say, Kalo Data, or Amazon's really good at this, and let's say you search up fat loss, okay? Your goal is to come here, see what type of mechanism, okay, what type of product, what type of ingredient is doing really well here, and why are they doing really well? The majority of the time, what you'll see is some of the top products in a specific category, right, don't always know what they're doing in other categories. So take this one for example, right, $9.99. There is no way this brand right here, Rebotum, okay, is on the Facebook ads library launching ads, especially at a $10 price tag, okay? So they're not playing the perceived value or the branding game. They're playing the quantity game, right? And because they're playing the quantity game, they can't afford to run ads. They just want to move units. That's not what we want to do. We want to go ahead and move units and move them at quality. So what our goal is when it comes to the ideation and the research phase is to find a product that's selling in a growing market with a brand or multiple competitors that are only focusing on single channels and they're not omni-channel, and be able to go ahead and beat them to the customer on Facebook, beat them to the customer on Google, and beat them to the customer on TikTok. Why? Because the majority of the time, these products that are crushing it on Amazon are crushing it based off search volume. So they're only targeting, or they're maximizing on the people who are coming to the mall already, knowing that they want to buy a black shirt. They are already coming to the mall knowing they want to eat at Cheesecake Factory. But instead, I can go ahead and market to people who are thinking about going to the mall this weekend, right? And saying, hey, don't go to the mall, save yourself a trip. Here's the best black t-shirt. Hey, don't go to Cheesecake Factory. Actually, we just opened downstairs. Come eat this cheesecake that we just made. Or I'll even send you a cheesecake to your house. That's 10 times better. Okay, hopefully this analogy hits your brain cells here pretty good with that God-given brain of yours that you have. But again, our goal is to get to the customer before the customer gets to our competitors. And if we can do that, we can actually crush it and build a multi-million-dollar business. And that's the competitor analysis part. The branding ideation is very important. I'll briefly talk about this right now, or I guess in the next stage, so we'll kind of walk through here. But naming and branding is very important. So I see a lot of you guys, or a lot of beginners, try to launch a store with very generic names. They're like, let's say you're selling fat loss, they'll say, I don't know, try loss, like just a stupid name, or like Nuvex or Kuvex, or like random shit like that ChatGPT gives them. The way you want to think about it, okay, is look at all these top brands: Athletic Greens, Lemmy, Ari Nutrition, Comfort, Dr. Squash, okay, these Unilever owned brands, like all of the Rhode Skin, right? They all have a specific naming technique that they pretty much follow that builds a character, okay? All of these brands can allow you to build a character or position your brand as this authority figure in the space. The easiest way for me to explain this without using any fucking AI prompting here and using the brain cells that I have is try to put yourself in your consumer mind, okay? So the ideal customer that you're going to be targeting. How does that person talk? What are the type of brands they interact with? What are the type of words that they would say? And can you go ahead and come up with a name that would fit, that would be friends with that ideal customer? And if it's a yes, then you can go ahead and move forward with it. A good idea I had, for example, well, I can't even take credit. One of our guys inside the community, Daniel, he was thinking about launching a soap brand. I'll tell it to you guys because it's already too late. You can't really keep up with this. But he wanted to launch a soap brand specifically for men after seeing Dr. Squash, the multi-billion-dollar company that just sold by selling soaps. He's like, you know what? I want to sell soap for men. So what would be a good naming idea? Doing research, doing through YouTube videos. Essentially, he found the word aura or magnet, I believe it was, right? And he was like, what if I launch a brand that helps men boost their confidence and attract women by smelling good? And the name of the brand is Magnet. And then the soap shape is all silver or all black or black and red or whatever the case may be, right? And that's how you go ahead and think about the idea of branding and actually positioning yourself for success, okay? So don't just try to find a generic name, but actually do the research. Like what you can do, this is a very cool tip as well that we kind of like to do in an exercise with some of the guys we work with, is go on YouTube, right? Let's say you want to sell matcha or soap, right? Try to pull as many vlogs, as many people, as many videos and ideas, right, from YouTube of the ideal demographic and who would be buying your brand. And based off of all of that content, you can actually transcribe it, send it to ChatGPT and say, hey, give me a summary of the words or the patterns that you see throughout these videos from all these different vloggers or TikTokers. And then from there, you can actually start coming up with name ideas that would fit and go with their terminology. And maybe I'll make a video on this later down the line, but yeah, naming branding is very important because your name can low-key make or break your store. So definitely take your time with that and give it some thorough thinking. Suppliers and manufacturers, my only tip and my best tip for you here is it's good to use a tool when you're first getting started, like an AutoDS or a CJ dropshipping or anything of that sort. But ideally, you have to do the manual labor. Okay, if you don't do the actual manual labor and you don't actually go ahead and reach out to 100+ suppliers, then you will not find the person who's going to be the best fit for your business. Okay, And I guess another hack that I will teach you for this is you can use SEO right here as a starting point, which is pretty much ChatGPT for finding suppliers and manufacturers, or use a VPN. Okay, I don't know if a lot of people talk about this, but if you put a VPN and position your VPN in China and start looking for suppliers, you actually have a way better chance of finding suppliers. And let's say you want to do it in Portugal or London or whatever it is, use a VPN, put your location there, and then search up the terms that you would be using to source your product. And if you can do that, I promise you this research process will be a lot easier. Okay? And then positioning finally here is all about being able to, like, if you notice, the best way for me to explain this, I guess, is the best brands aren't necessarily the ones inventing new things, but they're the best ones at presenting them in a new way. Okay? That's whether by its product form, ingredients, or packaging. And this goes for fashion, this goes for beauty, this goes for pretty much everything. Like if we come here to women's and underwear, okay, over 100 million sold in the last 30 days on TikTok, what you'll notice is shapewear. Shapewear isn't new, okay? Shapewear has been around since Spanx was around. Or Comfort Cloud Tee. Why is this fucking plain t-shirt selling $600,000? Because if you do your research here, which I've already done, they're selling into this whole anxiety play. They're selling it specifically through influencers and through creators. They're selling it based off its material, okay? And saying this material doesn't just feel good, but it makes you hugged. Like it makes you feel like you're hugged. It makes you feel like, you know, you're soft, you're smooth. It helps with your mental, like all this other stuff, right? So what they've done is they've built a brand that's doing millions of dollars by simply changing the product form, right? By simply changing their ingredients. Another example is if I go here, for example, and I do beef organs. Okay, this is a very trending market right now. What do you notice? Out the gate, everybody's fucking selling pills. Pills, 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 pills. Pills, 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 pills. Okay, everybody's crushing it, sure. 4,000 units, 3,000 units, 7,000, 30,000 units. But guess what? The next wave is going to look something like this. Or not like that. Sorry, where is it? Something like this, right? Where somebody comes into a market where there's already been thousands of customers who have experienced something, but maybe they're not happy with it, so now they want to try a different form. Introduce gummies, okay? So think about stuff where you can go ahead and make one small change that can have a big impact that will allow you to stand out in the market. And if you can do that, again, I promise you your job will be easier in order to scale. Now, once you do that, also, next step is creating your assets and doing the marketing. Launch strategy, I'll keep it pretty simple. And let me know what you guys want me to go over in the comments for other videos. But again, for this, I want to keep it very high level. Build a Shopify website, make a really good landing page and a product page, use my brand launch system that's linked in the description below, and build something that you would actually buy from. And if you can do that for yourself, then you have a check there. Next thing, best way, okay, to launch and scale is to find top viral videos that are problem focused on cable data and then recreate them for Meta and TikTok, okay? Your goal shouldn't be try to invent an ad or rip an ad or copy an ad. And this is probably a hot take because nobody really talks about this. Come here, sort by high ROAS, try to find something that has a fuck ton of spend. Look at what the video is doing, right? What type of video it is, right? The story, the headline, the structure. And just try to recreate that for your audience and for your product, okay? And my best tip for you here is don't just try to rely on AI. AI is good. AI is cheap. AI is fast, okay? But if you're gonna put all of this effort and all of this energy and make 5 AI videos that will most likely all flop and not even try to hire somebody real to make you a video, then what's the point of even doing this? You can literally go to Fiverr, right? And the first thing you'll see is UGC videos right here and people who are willing to create videos for you for fucking $50, $100, $200, $15, right? So why not use a real human being that can create you the exact prompt, the exact structure, the exact style of a winning ad that will give you the best odds to actually launching and scaling your business? Or do it yourself. Right? Do it yourself. Have your mom, have your sister, have your brother, have your friend, have anybody do this. But at least spend time, right? And give yourself enough assets and good enough tools in order to go fishing. Like a lot of you guys want to go hunting and make money, but you're not even giving yourself the best weapons. When you can go ahead and equip yourself with all the best ammo, all the best weapons before you go to war or before you go hunting. Okay? So you want to make sure you are doing this properly. And again, hire somebody, spend another $50, $100, make the best ad that you can by copying what's already working. And I don't mean copying just like the style of the video. I mean copying the framework, okay? Copying the exact structure and the presentation of why the ad worked. And if you can do that for your product, then I guarantee you that ad should generate you one sale right away. Next step is learning and spending, learning from the data. The best data you can learn here is ROAS, okay? If your ROAS is 0, there's nothing to fucking learn from, to be quite frank, okay? But essentially, if you launch an ad, okay, and the ad has clicks, so I'm gonna draw a mouse right here, okay? That means the ad is working. And if those clicks are not turning into sales, that means there's something with your copy or with your offer that is wrong. And that is what you should be focused on. It's not that your product sucks, right? It's your landing page and the way you're presenting your product that sucks. And if you can fix that, then you have something to work for. Your ad and your job is simply to create an ad that will get clicks. And if you can get clicks, then your ad is working really well, especially if you can get clicks for under $1. And if that's doing really well, then your next thing that you need to focus on is the presentation of your product and the presentation of your offer. Right? And then from there, you filter creators. Okay, if you're selling to men, make sure you have a men video. If you're selling to women, make sure you have a woman. If you're selling to older women, make sure your UGC ad has an older woman. If you're selling to younger men, make sure your UGC video, your ad, has a younger man in it. Because people want to see themselves using their product or in the transformation or in the scenario that your product is going to help them with. And that's how you improve your content and you're able to put more ad spend behind it and scale it, right? So you double down on the winning opportunities and then you optimize your offer like I just went. And then after that, a lot of people ask, when is the best time to hire? At what point do I hire? Okay, right away. Because the quicker you can hire, the quicker you can pretty much claim your freedom and your life back. And what do these hires look like? Creative strategist is number one. This person is pretty much the marketing mastermind that is going to work along your side and ideating new ideas, finding competitors, creating new ads, and pretty much managing that whole workflow of being able to communicate with your editors, with your UGC influencers, and so many other parts that's going to help people or help you produce content at scale. You want to hire as many video editors as possible. Hire an editor to just do AI, hire an editor to just do B-roll, hire an editor to just do UGC. Literally, the more editors you have, the better, because your number one asset as a ecom business is how much media can you produce. And the more media and content you can produce, the quicker and the better you can scale. One good designer is all it takes to create statics and help you with your landing pages and whatnot. And then lastly, a media buyer, which is what you're going to serve as. Okay, you're going to manage your own money to start. And then once you're making enough, you're going to have somebody do that for you. And the best places to hire these people are Twitter. Always come to Twitter, okay? You go to X, you search up creative strategist, you search up UGC influencer, you search up video editor, and I promise you, you will find some of the best talent there. And it's just about pitching them on the opportunity and making sure you can pretty much compensate them properly. And if you can do that, then you are on your way to generating multiple millions of dollars a year. I know this video is super high level here. Didn't want to go over too many things in depth, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know what else you guys want me to go over in the next videos, and like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.